Okay, now you should have read along with me as we went through the concept introduction. So now we're going to take that information from the concept introduction and use that to fill out the pre-lab questions. So number one, what is the purpose of the lab? So if you will go down into the lab itself, it will say purpose, so just copy and paste that into your pre-lab. Okay, what was the device that measures the apparent brightness of a star? So what was the device that an astronomer puts on their telescope that measures the apparent brightness of a star? Okay, it was that black box that we used in previous labs to measure the brightness of the light bulb. Okay, a photometer. Okay, question number 3 is how is the maximum wavelength of a star obtained in this lab? So how are we going to get the maximum wavelength of a star? It is not going to be by using Wien's law. It's some other technique. So go down in the lab or the concept introduction and find out how are we going to find the maximum wavelength of this star. Hint. Okay. Number 4. What formula is used to calculate the temperature of the star if you know the maximum wavelength? So we get the maximum wavelength from question number 3, and then we use it to calculate the temperature using whose law? I just said it. I hope you remember that. Okay, let's go down to number 5. What is an HR diagram? So what does an HR diagram show? What is the up and down part on an HR diagram? What's the sideways part on an HR diagram? Okay, then number 6, question number 6 is how would you use an HR diagram to find the actual brightness of a star? So go back down to the pre-lab if you have to. But what piece of information do you need to know about the star so that you can find its luminosity? Okay, and then on question number 7, how are we going to determine the distance to the star? So once we know the apparent brightness of the star, and once we know the actual brightness of the star, or once we know the relative magnitude of the star and we know the absolute magnitude of the star, what idea or what formula are we going to use in order to figure out the distance to the star? Okay? Alrighty. So now let's go down to the actual lab itself. So the lab is going to be found on the computers in Norman K. Myers 221 or Norman K. Myers 205, which doesn't really help you any. So what I'm going to do is I will put the computer program up on the screen, allow you to take data from it, and then to complete the lab. So we're going to be using the virtual astronomy software. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop the video, and when I come back I'm going to show you what the virtual astronomy lab looks like, and then we're going to start taking data from it.